What's going on, you all? Coach Reese here, the boxing professor, coming to bring you a video about the 1-2. Simple combination, but we've got to fix, we've got to adjust. Before I get into this video, please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, turn on your notification bell, because we have to get into something really important when it comes to boxing. And it is the way that a lot of people throw the 1-2. The 1-2 is a very simple combination. However, the majority of people still throw it wrong. They throw that combination with not as much strength in there too, and there's a reason behind it. So we're going to get into all of that. I want to make sure that you guys master that combination. The 1-2 is very simple. However, when you go to these fights or when you watch these fights online, what genuinely happens is somebody is knocked out with a high quality one. So I'm going to show you right now where your mistakes are when you throw your 1-2, how to fix it without so much aggression. So let's get right into it. Okay, so here we go. The basic 1-2. So for anybody who is orthodox, your 1-2 is going to be what? The left jab and the right cross. And for you southpaw individuals, it's going to be the right jab and the left cross, okay? Now, I'm going to show you the mistake that a lot of people do with the 1-2. So let's get in our boxing guard, right? We've already probably pawed and found the range on the 1. So if you're able to throw your 1 and touch your opponent with your 1, you have no choice at this point but to be able, or you should have no choice but to be able to touch your opponent with every other punch that you throw, right? Be it the uppercuts, be it the overhands, be it any hooks, you should be able to touch your opponent, right? The issue that I've been seeing, and not even just with my beginner fighters or my beginner boxers, but people that I see online wanting to do all the fancy work online. The issue that I'm seeing is this right here. They'll touch the bag, right? And when they're ready to throw their cross, what they'll do, firstly, is they'll overstep, right? They'll overstep into it and smother it. And I'm not gonna move my body right now. I'm just gonna drop my hands. What do you see? You see what? That my shoulders are even. Your shoulders should not be even when you throw your cross. When you're coming off of that back foot, you're supposed to have full rotation. So when I take my 1-2, I shouldn't even have stepped in that big. I've already established that I can touch my opponent with my lead hand. So there's no need for me to step in any bigger. What you guys have to make sure that you do is rotate fully. A lot of boxers have poor torso rotation. They don't want to turn that torso. And what that ends up doing is ending up in them shoulder pad square, like a football player. At no point should you be there. If you were to actually rotate like you needed to, when you throw a real true cross or a 2, my right shoulder is in front of my left shoulder. I have rotated fully without getting any closer to my opponent. A lot of boxing coaches are teaching their fighters to get too close to their opponent. And if I'm jumping in big with my 1-2, I'm bringing the meal, either the body or the head, to my opponent. That is not what I'm aiming to do. What I want to do is make sure that I can already touch them. You getting any closer to them is not going to make the shot any more deadly. That's not going to make the shot any heavier. All it's going to do is put you in danger. So from a front view, if I've already established the fact that I can touch my opponent here, I have to make sure that I do what? Boom, fully rotate. My right shoulder, when I drop my hands, is in front of my left shoulder. I have full twist in my torso. This is why a lot of boxers don't get the effect that they want to get. A lot of fighters are stiff. You have to stretch. I'm gonna attach my video, maybe both videos that I have on my channel, for you guys to really start focusing on your stretching. Because if I can't stretch like I need to, I can't turn, which is going to inhibit not only my cross, but my hooks, my uppercuts, everything. Boxing is not only rhythmic, but it's rotational. Two things that you should be able to do as a fighter, and that is to dance, because you're going to have good footwork. Unrhythmic boxers are the easiest to beat. You have to be able to be good on your feet. You should be able to dance, and I'm not saying be a Chris Brown crumper or anything like that, but you have to dance and you have to have a extended range of flexibility. Stretching has to be in your routine. Mobility has to be in your routine. Other than that, you are going to have a lot of openings and a lot of exposures, and you're going to leave yourself open a lot. There is a lot of rotation that happens in order for the punch to transfer the way that it needs to transfer. I don't care if it's coming off the back, boom, with a cross. So let's say I establish my jab, boom, I didn't step any closer, but my full rotation is into it. Let's say I want to throw the uppercut. It's going to have the same kinesiology, the same kinetics, right? Boom. When I drop my arm in the uppercut, guess what? Right shoulder is back out front. You guys are not twisting. You're not twisting, okay? That's going to play against you. You guys have to stop being stiff, and you've got to stretch. You've got to take at least 20 to 30 minutes to get a good quality stretch. Every great fighter and every great athlete in general has some degree of extended flexibility and mobility. Your sport, this beautiful martial art, this beautiful sport of ours requires mobility. It requires flexibility. If you can't turn your hips, if you can't twist, you're in trouble. Because guess what that means? When you try to throw a power shot, guess what happens? You're going to be throwing it from up here in the arms. You're going to be trying to flail with your arms and throw heavy shots. But you see my torso's not twisting? That's not knockout shots. The power starts in the feet, right? So that's your dancing feet, right? So your power starts there. And then you sit into it. So you lose about an inch or two, because now these are called loaded legs. And the rest comes from what? The ability to rotate. Rotate the torso. You guys need to make sure that you work on your torso mobility. Don't rush into bags. I can't stand when coaches teach that. What they'll do is they'll teach their fighters how to gallop into a 1-2. So let's say I can't touch it from here, right? What they'll teach them is to jump in big and jump out. There is no need for that. That is a complete waste of energy. For one, galloping in, boom, boom. For a skilled fighter, if you're teaching your fighters a certain way, leaves your fighter who just galloped in the ability to be check hooked, to be pivoted on, and there are so many openings there. But not only that, a big disadvantage for galloping forward and galloping backwards is what? You gallop in, you gallop back. I'm not in range where I could exchange anymore, right? So I have to re-engage. So why engage to disengage, to re-engage, to re-disengage, to re-engage, to re- What are we doing here? That doesn't make any sense. You need to be engaged as to where you can actually be in range to get hit, because you can't hit anybody if you're not in range to get hit. Therefore, you need to have confidence in your defense. So all of this galloping back and forth is because fighters have horrible, boom, torso twist movement. That also makes them, the galloper, use a lot of energy. They're going to be using so much energy. While the other individual who doesn't have to gallop is confident in their defense, boom, countering, boom, right? Dictating the pace. One's getting fatigued. Mr. Back and Forth, Mr. Pendulum Step the entire time is getting fatigued because he has to jump 10 feet in to get his shots on, and then 10 feet out to get out, and then they're going to circle around the ring, and they're not even going to look like they're engaged in the fight. Work on your flexibility. Work on your torso rotation. I'll even shoot a video on torso rotation exercises for you guys. But let's make sure, okay, with the 1-2, the original purpose of the video, because I just taught this last night. This is why I'm so lit up and passionate about it. When you throw your 1-2, make sure, and I'm going to call out another mistake that people do too. So make sure that after you establish, because like we already discussed, for a refresher, when you tap with this hand, you've already established that what? You can touch with every other shot that you throw, boom, no matter what the punch is. In order to reach with the 1-2, you have to have a full rotation there. See right now, my right shoulder is in front of my left because I have also aggressively pulled back, boom, my lead hand. All of that rotation goes into it together. Front view, right? Let's say I established the jab. I've already touched you, right? 3 things going on. Turning my foot. Second thing going on, turning my torso. Third thing going on, aggressively pulling this lead hand back to project the right hand forward. It's not necessarily about throwing it, it's the projection. So right here, boom, that's the knockout shot. If I drop my hands, right shoulder in front of the left, I've already snatched this hand all the way back. I'm dug into the ground, hands turned over. The other hand is on my jaw. I'm protected. I'm ready to roll. Okay? That is the error that is being made by a lot of boxers when it comes to throwing the most basic combination in boxing, which is 1-2. People don't know how to throw an effective 1-2. They're too busy trying to make the bag sound a certain way. They get next to their peers or their boxing team or whatever, and they love to hear the bag just ba 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 and all that stuff. And those are not actual punches. They might be points in the amateurs, but the first person to go ahead and sink that hip and land a quality shot, somebody's getting a standing 8. So don't worry about the speed in your punch versus the quality of the punch, okay? Make sure you throw a full effective shot. Rotate your hips, make sure you twist, okay? Listen, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you practice, practice, practice. Go to the gym tomorrow, do nothing but the 1-2 on the bag. I challenge you. I challenge you to do that because everybody loves to do the advanced stuff, right? All the stuff that looks flashy and looks great and makes a lot of noise and gets the oohs and the ahs online. However, the basics build champions. Therefore, you have to break yourself down and be willing to sit there and do the same combination over and over and over and over again until mastery prevails. The only way that it's going to prevail is if you guys do that same combination over and over and over again. Maybe not even 3 rounds, do 10 rounds. Do it for a week, do it for a month. Make your focus for the entire week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it takes, just the 1-2. And then you can advance on to something, the 1-1-2. People get beat with the basics because they never master the basics. I'm dropping some jewels for you guys right now, and I hope that you're taking heed to it. Listen, go work on that 1-2. Fix the rotation in the hips and stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch after every workout. Stretch at night. It only takes 20 minutes, 20, maybe 22, depending on how deep you get into it. I also teach Capoeira, so I have an advanced stretching routine on my channel as well, which I will attach to this video. But you guys, the more flexible that you are to go along with your strength and your rhythm, that's going to give you the best opportunities that you guys can have in your boxing career. Please go practice, like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will catch you guys in the next video.